여러분 안녕하십니까? 유튜브 헬창TV 헬창입니다. 오늘 저는 그 IF 프로 삼손다우다 선수를 모시고 인터뷰를 좀 하려고 하는데요. 어떤 내용이냐면은 바로 이번에 있었던 내추럴 대회에 약물 사용자가 이제 출전을 하였고 이제 프로카드를 가진 거에 대해서 사실 이제 한국에서의 의견들도 중요하지만은 해외에서 실질적으로 프로 보디빌더로 활동하시는 분의 이 의견도 굉장히 중요할 것 같고 남들의 시선에 구애받지 않고 본인만의 이야기를 정확하게 들을 수 있을 것 같아가지고 오늘 인터뷰를 진행하게 됐습니다. Can you introduce yourself to our subscriber, please?
All right. Good afternoon. My name is Samsonda우다, IFBB Pro, also known as the Nigerian Lion. Nice to meet you guys. Nice to be here in Korea. And yeah, here I am, man. Pleasure.
Yeah. First of all, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for inviting me. This is brilliant.
So I'm gonna ask you some couple questions about the Korea fitness things. In Korea, as you can see, the fitness industries are getting really big and really famous. And there's a lot of shows too. I mean, a lot of federations and a lot of competitions.
Yeah.
There's a kind of issue recently that a former or now a person who are using some stuff, they're competing the natural pro show, and they took all the pro cards and all the natural athletes they defeated. So can you say about this kind of situation? So yeah.
All right. So personally, in my opinion, I feel like in terms of pride to stand it against yourself, once you've crossed over to a level where you know you're beyond that, where most people can compete against, I don't see the pride in going back to beat those people that you've already passed that level at, especially when you're no longer a natural athlete and you've had that enhancement. You're in that stage where you're so much advanced to what someone is coming up. It's like me as a pro bodybuilder going to an amateur show to compete with amateur. There's no pride, there's no honor in that. And I feel like you always have to be pushing the man to go up against people that's higher than you, to fight for to be the next level. So for me, going backwards to compete against guys that don't have that advantage you do, I don't find it very honorable. I don't think that is cool. I think it shouldn't be allowed, and it should be something that you should do. Even as a person, as an individual yourself, I think you should take pride in the idea that, look, I'm beyond that. I don't need to go, collect trophies and collect awards, competing against people that are not quite at my level anymore. I need to look forward and look to push it to the next level, not going backwards to feel good for myself for winning something that is. It's like you playing basketball with a kid that is pretty much younger than you, and then you kind of going all out and beating them. You don't walk away feeling that you've achieved anything. It just feels like you basically cut your shortcomings in that. So for me, I don't think that's cool. I think as an individual, take pride in knowing that you're fighting upwards, not against somebody who's still coming up, just like, if you understand what I mean. So, yeah, true.
But the thing is, the people who get the pro card, they keep saying that I avoided doping. There's no result that they're using stuff. As you know that, if you avoid doping, there's a lot of things that you can do. Just you can, stop using stuff before like competition 2 months ago, or like a couple of weeks ago, and there's like kind of strategy to avoid the doping. So they keep saying that I didn't
use it for the show.
Yeah.
The thing is, we know that anabolics and everything else, it gives you an advantage to a point when it comes to training. It helps you push your body to the next level. For me, anyway, in terms of pride, I feel like I know that I want to take myself to the next level and take my levels up higher. And for me to do that is for me to keep pushing myself against those that are better and those that have done things that I haven't done yet. So the idea of going back, even though if I can say, okay, yeah, I've been on a break, I've done that, whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm still going up against people that haven't been to the level I've been to already. I've already crossed that line. Whether you've avoided it or not, you've crossed that line. At this point, your goal should be, okay, what's next? Not, I want to go back to show off. Because I feel like that's what you're basically doing is, you're not going back to compete against guys that are really pushing you to go better. You're going back to prove that, you're trying to show off. It's no honorable result. It's a bit biased. So personally, I don't think that's cool. I think once you've crossed that line, keep moving forward. Don't come back.
So can you say to the person who got a pro card that using stuff?
I don't know who it was, so I'm just gonna say this. But personally, I say, look, if that's what you feel, trust me, it's not a good road to go down. I don't feel like it's a good road to go down. I feel like, you know that you've pushed to partner to that level. Why don't you go up against guys that are better than the level you are? Why don't you go look forward, not going back to step on the little guy? Because at the end of the day, in a point, you might not see it that way, but it's almost bullying. Because it's like a heavyweight world-class fighter going to fight an amateur that hasn't, even though if the heavyweight has a fight in like 2 years, it doesn't matter. You've already been that level. It's like going back now and say, I'm going to fight someone smaller than me. So I think, well, come on, man. You want to earn your pro card honorably. You want to stand back and say, look, I won this show. I went up against this great athletes, and I won the show fairly and honorably. Not, I won the show going up against guys that are not quite there yet. So, yeah.
Another question is, and few trainers are providing steroids to their customers.
Well, I feel like if you're an athlete and you're at that point,